In a battlefield, amidst flags and fallen bodies, we see a man standing and a group staring at him. The man raises his sword. We see the other three people. The Shaolin, Abotri, Jinxion, the leader of the Mount Rua sect, Zhang Wang, and the patriarch of the Nangong clan, Nangong Huang. The latter says, "Now that bastard is certainly exhausted. He must be killed now." The man replies, "Now only you are left." A pressure begins to spread through the place. The Shaolin says, "Amitba, get ready." We see the man face to face with the Shaolin. The Shaolin manages to parry the blow, but we see him jumping back and moving away from the opponent. After moving away, he prepares himself, his divine demon. Damned, heavenly Buddha palm strike. The attack goes towards the divine demon, who with a jump manages to dodge and appears over the Buddha's head. "Then I'll kill you first." He attacks the Shaolin, who defends himself using his weapon. The Shaolin then asks, "You, what are you doing? Now is the time." The others, upon hearing this, attack, trying to reach the divine demon. The blows spread throughout the place. Plum Blossom lightning attack, thunderous thunder attack. The two attacks are launched and hit the Venus demon. He coughs up blood. The Shaolin also prepares. "May you be reborn in paradise." The Shaolin tries to hit him, but the divine demon still so manages to dodge. Taking a leap, he spins in the air and opens his palm, preparing to fall. Suddenly, the Shaolin falls dead on the ground, holding part of the Shaolin by the spine. He says, "Next." The other two stare at him with dread in their eyes. In front of you, they don't see a man, but a monster. The divine demon starts running. We see the two trying to hit him, but one giving back. The other defends an attack using his sword, but the divine demon still attacks. This is Zhang Qian, to cut down the man who alone filled the central plains with blood. All masters, martial of the 9 great sects gathered, but, even so, facing the one whose martial strength was considered the greatest above heaven. Their alliance was brought to the brink of collapse. "Hey, old man, did you already prepare your grave?" The man answers, "Of course I already did." "Your grave." Plum Blossom rain. He uses the power, and branches begin to fall on the divine demon. Not yet, he thinks. In his memory, we see him sitting with a girl and 2 children. "I can't die yet." Demonic spiritual sword art. 5th form. Black Dragon execution. We see blood spurting from Zhang Wang. He is defeated, but still, the divine demon continues to be attacked by the other, who's left. Infinite Emperor sword technique. While being attacked, Zhou Chao thinks, "Damn, Nangong clan rat. That hurts. Damn." But he again remembers the children, so he advances saying this. Tickled. As he approaches his opponent, he raises his sword and with one movement, one black energy launched towards Nangon. He gets scared and is thrown away. Zhang Qian, "You damn demonic bastard." We see him turning his body, and again a technique being launched. Zhang Qian is in the middle of the power. Suddenly, Nangong appears or attacks from behind. As he advances, he prepares and shouts, "Die." His sword goes through John's back. This problematic life of yours ends here. But the divine demon still tries to stand. "It's getting clearer. Yes, let's finish this," he says. Nangong questions what he answers. "I said, let's end this. This cursed plot." Saying this, he sticks his sword into his chest. That goes through him and hits Nangong. The eyes of the man hit start to turn red, and veins spread through his body. With a scream, he is thrown away. While Zhang Qian withdraws the sword from his chest, we see the blade being consumed by a dark energy, and the divine demon making his last move. Nangong's head flies. Meanwhile, he thinks, how did I pierce his heart? How is he still alive? Could it be that he really exceeded the limits of man? That is the divine demon. That was his last thought. As his eyes closed, the energy begins to disperse. As 9 grandest satas, Anaquilatus, John finally lowers his sword. That was good enough. We see another memory. Children are running after one. "Arrogant bastard. How dare you fight back?" A hand appears and lifts a boy. The person says, "You are very good at fighting." John thinks then, This is my life flashing before my eyes. It's been a while since I saw the young face of my master right. My moment in Murim started here. It all started as fights for survival, wandering homeless, relying only on one single sword. To live one more day, I had to kill someone. An endless and meaningless dance. Could a life like this have meaning? Human life is really that fleeting. I understand that feeling. Me too. I find myself daily in the market, arguing with people. In this world, you must treat everyone as enemies if you want to survive for a long time. And calm down. The endless complaints of my younger brothers about food. It's exhausting, but in those moments, they are the most precious. When I lost my parents and fell apart, they gave meaning to my life again. How about you also find a meaning for your life? Suddenly, we see him in tears. I wanted to live with you all. For someone like me, who only knew how to kill, you gave me a reason to live. The sword that I raised again for revenge. A adrift life without roots. Where was the meaning of my life? We see the face of the John woman. John is surprised and starts to cry. She has always been here. The path full of blood that I walked alone for 15 years. Although my sword has blinded, and my body has countless wounds, I gave everything I had, just to be able to fulfill this revenge. And then, looking at the sun, being born, frankly, I lowered the sword in my hand. Here lies the divine demon, Zhang Qian. Suddenly, one female voice is heard. What nonsense is this invasion like this? Do you think I would sell my clan's martial arts for a few coins? Zhang thinks. But what a disgrace. So this is hell. Since your older brother suffered an unfortunate accident and cannot continue with the line of martial arts, I will make my son inherit the secret martial arts of the Flame clan. What is happening? This is not hell. A child starts talking. Absolutely not. My older brother is still alive, and as well as the clan's martial arts could be given to someone from outside the clan. A little girl also says, and besides, you are not even direct blood. Even if my brother cannot learn martial arts, our grandfather's martial arts must remain within the clan. Fleming. He is surprised to look at the children. Who the hell are these people? The other guy smiles. This won't end like this. All right. Let me make a proposal. Proposal? Question. Zhang, I heard that these two are so poor that they can't even afford food. So I'm going to bet money. While you, the Imugin, will bet your clan's entire martial arts legacy. You and I will duel for it. The winner takes all. What do you say? The little boy says. What, my older brother couldn't even start to train because of your madness. The girl completes. You think I'm going to fall for such an obvious trick? How noisy. Hey, who the hell is Amajim? I am the divine demon, Zhang Qian. The other guy questions. Who did you say you are? He answers. John. The world seems to call me the divine demon. The boy questions. Divine demon? That's not even fun. Why not call yourself king of the underworld? Instead of that, this is the second son of the trading group, the Zhonghua, Xiang Dabo. The boy comments. Of all the hours. Why now? Xiang Dabo says. Your madness must be getting worse day by day. The girl says. With the eldest son of the clan. In this state, the fate of the Flame War clan is already sealed. I say this for ties of blood and feeling. So take it gently. It's also not bad advice for you. She is the master of the Xianghua trading group. Bu Zoyan. There's nothing more to say. I will take your silence as acceptance of the duel. So let it be known as such. The duel will be held at the Biang Pavilion on the 5th day of the 2nd month. Dabo says, it is a promise made from one martial artist to another. If you break the duel agreement, well, you know the consequences. Right, divine demon? Jin Kaian. The two leave the place. I can't believe they're deciding among themselves. The girl looks at him and asks, what are you doing? You never didn't even swing a sword. Are you talking about me? Never even swung a sword. You say? That's funny. Hilarious. Even considering the small beginner level. With a burst of inner energy. I could. He interrupts himself. Confused. He asks, what's gone? What is this? Because I don't have any internal energy. There is none. What's wrong with this body? It's so fragile and weak. Can it even hold a sword? Please. Stop, brother. I'm begging you. Please, recover your consciousness. Even if you have a state of madness, you are still. What kind of fool would stand and accept that in silence? The other boy says, fool. How dare you call our brother that? Apologize instantly. The little girl answers, no. I won't. She pauses a bit and says it's your fault that mom and dad died. John Chan remains silent and the girl runs. The boy next to him says, maybe you don't remember, but she often gets lost like this. I ask for your understanding. John Chan answers, I understand. Then I will follow my path. John is alone. Even children treat me like a lunatic now. That's absurd. The sunset illuminates the place. Standing in front of something. He thinks, I clearly cut off the head of the clan patriarch. Nangong. I still feel the sensation of my heart being pierced, leaving me unable to breathe. I even completed the revenge for Ione and his brothers. I should have closed my eyes in peace. But now, I'm inside this body. How did that happen? And who are those children who resemble Suk? Yom, I'm crazy. They said. What nonsense is that? Suddenly, someone appears running. Sir, you went out again with your fragile body. Do you have any idea how worried I was? Who are you? You seem to know me. The other person answers. Another fit of madness. I understand. Allow me to explain one more time. Who says this is the vassal of the Flame Clan Wamesak. The Amajim was already so talented and reputable, and numerous Orthodox sects wanted to accept him as a disciple. At 23 years old, he became the leader of our clan. That's you. This is more than the 1,000th time I've explained this to you. So that's it. So if I was so amazing, why is my internal energy core like this now? And what about this madness? Why does everyone treat me like if I was a lunatic? About that, 17 years ago, we see two children without using internal energy. Let's duel fairly today. Dabo the Amujindis. At that time, at 6 years old, of course without internal energy, responds Xiong Dabo. At 9 years old, fairly. But what continues to explain? I don't know who asked for the duel first, but while the elders of both families were absent, you two fought with each other. We see the two boys exchanging blows. One of them prepares to kick, as expected of Dabo. He's blocking all my attacks. Dabo says, you really are the promising genius, admired by Orthodox sects. Such honest and unarmed skills. The boy asks, what are you saying so suddenly? Tolo does Dabo. Using his internal energy, his fist goes towards the boy. He is hit and thrown away. Dabo moves again. The fallen Amujim questions Dobu. We should fight without our internal energy. Why did you use the 7-wound strike? Well, Mujim, do you still consider me a friend even? Now yes. As you can see, that was the 7-wound strike. Approved by the Kondong sect. They say the after effects are no joke. Even if you are hit only once. See, I tested recently with the older brother who was all arrogant. One hit, and he is still bedridden. Let's see how you deal with it. The Amajim, he says. Hitting. Another hit. Going back to current times. After listening to the story, John Song thinks. So that's it. That's the reason why they call me insane. If they think my condition is an after effect of the 7-wound strike, then the courage makes sense. He crippled me, even turning me into a lunatic. Without an energy core, and then, without any shame, demanded a duel. How did they deal with that bastard back then? For everything to end up in this mess. But you who answers? It was the decision of the old patriarch. My father. Yes, he answers. Although Dabo was his youngest cousin, he was also the son of the Xiongwa trading group, ranked among the top 10 in the Central Plains. He just gave him a scolding. Severe, and closed the matter. John asks angrily. His own son was crippled, and he ended up with just a scolding. What a pathetic house. Where are these supposed parents now? His condition. We see the two. In another room, John Chan stares at what appear to be two graves, worsened day after day. His father individuated himself, desperately trying to cure his madness. 9 years ago, his mother's illness worsened and she passed away. 3 years later, overwhelmed by debt. His father too. We see him staring at the light of a candle. The children by his side. People behind him, commenting. A child who ruined his own clan. A son who became the reason for his parents' death. And a brother who put his younger siblings in a difficult situation. The reputation of the Flame War clan ended with that. All that remains are debts incurred on his own. 2 loyal servants. A handful of martial artists and their brothers. The youngest son of the Flame clan Oe, the Adagem, and the daughter of the Flame clan Oe Soyo. He remembers his sister, blaming him for his parents' death. With that he thinks. An illness destroyed an entire house. It's no surprise that girl was furious. At night, we see an illuminated house. Inside there, someone seems to be messing with something. I gathered some things from history books. In Oemujin's room, as a divine demon, John Kyan, I died in battle against the 9 great sects. 30 years have passed since then. The living sensation of the world tells me that this is reality. In short, now I inhabit the body of Oemujin, the eldest son of the Flame clan Oe, a lunatic without an energy core. Those I needed to kill, I've already killed. I left no regrets in that life. He puts his hand on drawings. Brothers, huh? The circumstances are tragic. They remind me of those 2 children. I think I should live this life now. Maybe I'll help those kids, even if only a little. My biggest obstacle, however, is the Xiongwa merchant group. They crippled this boy. They ruined the clan. I need to prepare myself immediately for my duel with Xiongdu Bo, scheduled for the 5th day of the month. After the next, I will need to rebuild myself, at least as a beginner. Before that, it seems that I have to start from the beginning. Again, so we see him sitting. That makes me remember the first time I learned martial arts. Back there, even breathing was difficult. With that, he starts to inspire. We see a spark of what appears to be energy, and that energy begins to accumulate in the middle of his belly. Maybe it's because martial appetitiveness and nothing of this body is extraordinary, but I don't even need to go through the process of feeling the energy. Just closing my eyes is enough. We see the energy going towards his body, and an explosion happening in the house. Something passes through the sky. People hear a scream. After listening, they run towards the place. Young master, what happened? He is dead. Finally, I'm just kidding. He is perfectly fine. In fact, his pulse is stronger than ever. Because he is healthier now. The man is interrupted as soon as his finger is held. Hey old man, what's with my body? Everything I tried to do was to form an energy core, but the pain was excruciating. What does the man ask? The Amujim or John? John asks, my body, does it have any kind of special condition? The man says, if you are asking about your condition, said it is the celestial martial body. The celestial martial body. He thinks, while the man says, it is a rare heroic constitution chosen by the heavens, or that's what an old Shaolin monk told me. John asks, are you laughing, you shit? But suddenly he coughs up blood and starts to fall. With that, he thinks, it is exactly the opposite of body suitable for demonic arts. If a body of pure positive energy tries to practice demonic arts, he will suffer immense pain and in the worst of causes, may even result in death. While his subordinate tries to call him, he keeps thinking, there is one celestial martial body, the body of the celestial slaughter, the celestial flame body, the celestial water body, and countless others, of all the countless celestial constitutions. Because this one, damn, the duel is only in a month. That's really bad. He asks, who are these old men? Masoki says, they are the chief butler of and the elder Joe. They have such an expression on their faces, even though the eldest son has collapsed. One of them says, the symptoms of young Master O are getting worse. Maybe it's time to prepare ourselves. The one who says this is the clan elder O, Joe Abong. The other, wearing green clothes, is the chief butler of the Baek Shin-A clan. Listening to the elder, he thinks, what Joe? That damn young Master A. You can't die yet. He listening to the mace thinks, I will not die. You fool. Rain falls outside. But what he says, you've been lying down for 3 days. Young Master took a good look at you. Are you really okay? He thinks, 3 days. That damn body. I will die even before the duel. With his face bandaged, he says, shut up. You're making my head hurt. More importantly, I need a sword. If I will duel, you go and get some swords immediately. We're worrying about what to eat. Where would we get money for a sword? Amujim questions. This damn house has no money. But what he says. Currently, we are taking loans from a non-orthodox sect called Bangro sect. Due to its ridiculous interest rates, we have a ridiculous amount of debt too. John thinks. Got it. A decaying clan. The money problem must be solved first. Well, if our debt is already so big, a little more would really hurt. Masak asks worriedly, are you going to borrow more money? Are you crazy? The young master says, shut up, and just write a letter to the two elders. I'm going for a walk. In another room, we see the crazy old man. The young master went to the Bangaro acceptance again. Well, why do you worry so much? Bangaro acceptance will know to kick him out. The other says, that's not the problem. If he messes with the Bangho acceptance, social acceptance could do. Your move. We see Amujim and Masoki standing in front of the lone sharks of the Bangro sect. So, hey big guy, tell that to your elder. The Amujim of the Flames sect OA wants to meet him. If you're here to bet, stop this nonsense and come in quickly. This is the Bangho sect guard. King Euro. The young man answers. Why not? You can't. If you can't, bring me your superior. What did you say? The guard asks. Masak worriedly says. No, sir. Our young master is a little sick. What are you looking at? The guard smiles. Suddenly, a coin spins in the air and a man appears. What's the matter, sir? He said he wanted to see the sect leader. Zhao Chao asks. Are you his superior? The man who just appeared again spins the coin and asks. You want to meet the sect leader because? Hemujim replies. To borrow money. So you are a customer. This man is Majungbo, the vice leader of the Bangho sect. If that's the case, you don't need to see the leader. Come in. Masak says, huh? Young master, you can still go back. I have a negative feeling about this. Amujim replies. We came this far. What are you talking about? Masak says. A few days ago, Grandma Shin from the tea house in town saw the leader of the Bangho sect fighting with the unaffiliated martial artist. In the blink of an eye, the chest of the martial artist was opened. I heard that he is a martial artist who learned the power, twin assassin of the Black Hand, the celestial martial arts of killing the moon. What Black Hand? What Masak answers. Twin assassin of the Black Hand, the celestial martial arts of killing the moon. And then again the coin spins. Your servant seems to understand faster than you, despite it seeming late for you to return. The tip of a sword appears close to the young man's neck. Start. Mujim asks. Was that your intention from the beginning? At the entrance. Adverse eyes. I couldn't hit. On the eldest son of the Flame clan. The could. For someone who isn't even paying interest. Aren't you ashamed? I don't intend to let you know Zhuger like your parents did. I'm sorry for coming here. Please, just spare our young master's life. Mujim asks. Well, like my parents. I have no parents. He says. But not as Amujim. And yes, as Jin Chao. Everyone is quiet. He himself thinks. Wait. I thought I was the same as when I was Jio Chong. We're going to start. Says one of the men. Yes, just teach them a lesson. Understood. One of the guards holds Mujim and starts spinning him. It up high. You little shit. I'm going to beat you up. We see your foot. And his hand doing something. Suddenly, a bone is broken. The expression of pain takes over. From the guard's face. You rat. You use tricks. Mujim says. You have fragile bones for your size. John looks at his hand and thinks. With this rotten body, I better do things this way. Then use pure power. The other one throws the coin while asking. What are you waiting for? Finish him. We see the guard's sword moving. Mujim dodges all attacks. The guard gets irritated and tries to hit him harder. Mujin dodges while thinking. Since I can't compare to his power, I need to keep moving. Right. He headbutts his opponent. The guard is thrown backwards, while blood runs from his nose. The other tries to attack Mogum, just like last time. Also manages to dodge. After the dodge, he rests his hand on the ground, and with an impulse hits a kick in the other guard. The same is thrown away, and so he hits his own friend. The two come out stumbling and kneel on the ground. Are you okay, young master? He answers. You can't say. I'm fine. But what questions? Where did you learn these martial arts? He answers again. This is not martial art. It's just something I learned on the streets. Well, when did you spend time on the streets? The vice leader of the sect throws his coin again and says, not bad. Then try to dodge this. Then he launches his coin. This one starts to go towards Jean Fleur. She passes by his head, and he questions himself. What a coin. The vice leader says, get lost, idiots, and I'll take care of him. Amram questions, I just want to talk to your leader. That's really hard. He's not someone people like you are allowed to meet. Now be crushed. We see a glow and Mujim defending himself with something. The man questions, a stick. Jean Fleur thinks, I didn't have a sword, so I needed to bring something to replace it. It's not that bad. The two start exchanging blows. Just like I thought. He uses some martial art never seen before. The man moves his sword and hits his hand while saying, an opening. The man feels the pain while thinking, he not only blocked my sword with a stick, he also found an opening, damn it. You rat. Mujim replies, if you underestimate the stick, you might end up shitting yourself. He starts throwing sticks towards vice leader. I thought he was a fool without intelligence. But how? How did he reach this level in a period of time so short? He really is the Amajim of the Flame Clan. The one I know. I heard that our clan had a lot of debt. I wondered who they would be. But you tried to take our money. With such horrible skills. He asks, sticking another stick in the man's arm. The man jumps back and says, feel a taste of the martial art you are belittling. Your joke's in now. Black Hand. Twins killing power. Celestial martial moon. Arts of killing. Supreme movement. The one who's making jokes. It's you, he says. Dodging the attack. The vice leader gets scared. He dodged. Mujim prepares his fist and we see the sword flying. This bastard. Why? While being hit by the punch. He wonders. Why would he hide such great power until now? Breathless. He says, damn. How do you plan to deal with the consequences? I'm not here to listen to some threats. But if you tell me what I want to hear, I'll increase your lifespan. So tell me again. Lend me some money. There goes, we see the tip of a pipe. Zhou Chao thinks. It's been decades since I felt this joy. Butok snatches the pipe from his hand. Young master. This is bad for you. What a waste. He says. The vice leader comments. Say what you want to know. Mujim asks. Why do you allow our clan to borrow money? If you hate losing money in the first place, I'm sensing a malicious intent here. The vice leader replies. You must be getting confused. Why would there be any malice? Mujim questions. Yes, I can hear your brain vibrating from here. Think well. Maybe if you had about 30 of those data stuffed down your throat, you wouldn't be able to speak even if you wanted to. The vice leader answers. Were orders from the Xianghua merchant group. Mujim questions. That is right. I knew it was those rats. So what deal did you make with them? The vice leader gets agitated. And Mujim says, hey, you're not a wise man or a proud warrior. If you wish to be loyal, save it for your subordinates. The merchant bastards wouldn't give a damn, even if their members were challenged. And this whole place was burned tonight. The man closes his eyes. Then he starts to say, we have a secret contract. The trading group. Xianghua told us to leave the Flamua clan with all the money you needed, with such high interest rates, that it was enough to make them fall into the depths, hellish of debts. In exchange for making the Flame Oa clan fall, they will change their lands, in addition to rewards to satisfy us. Mujim questions. So it was for the lands of our clan. The 300 gold nyang that I will borrow today. How much will it be worth after a year? The vice leader answers. According to the contract, it will be 5,000 gold nyang. Mujim, sorry. You guys are very funny. Well, all right. Let's continue. Who are they? Those who wipe their asses. The vice leader says. Accept social. One of the 4 martial heavens. An alliance of unorthodox sects. Mujim, listening to that, questions. Accept social. The 4 martial heavens had such a sect. The man answers. It hasn't been long since they joined. The 4 martial heavens. They are problematic bastards. But what calls him? Young master. You've never met them before. He answers. Don't worry about that. I don't want to explain it to you anyway. Because the guy who went to get the money is so late. The vice leader says, if you just give us a little more time. The door to the place is opened. The man enters with a chest. Here are 300 yen of gold. He checks the money and says, good. That should be enough. Let's go, he said, getting up. Are we really going to borrow all this? Shut up and get it outside soon. The rain falls. The two prepare to leave the place. Mujin says, write down today's loan in your books. After I have resolved everything with the business group, Xianghua, I will come back and pay our debt. And it looks like you're taking a lot of money from the peasants. Don't go too far. If you cross the line, I'm going to end you. The vice leader sighs. Let's see who gets screwed first. Crazy young master of the Wada clan calls. Young master, blood is not mine. He responds to the chief butler. But what happened there at the Bangho sect? He says, I just want to borrow a little bit of money. I heard we were in need. We need to feed our artists well. Marshal, I can't let everyone run away from where you stole it. Except Banjiro. Wouldn't lend us anymore. Mujindus. I told them to write in their books. So you just need to think about feeding and dressing my brothers well. Good luck. Chief butler. He walks into the residence. Have you ever heard of a disease that makes someone go crazy? This way. We see a candle being lit. Mujim stands in front of his family's photo. Since I never had peace, I'm not sure what to say. His brothers watch him hidden. Mujim continues. The problem with money has been solved. In a way, I will take good care of my brothers and the servants. You can rest in peace now. I promised to fight with an idiot called Xiaomi Dubo in a few days, because of some secret art of our clan. But don't worry. I will break his neck. He says in front of the candles. The night of one day turns into the day of another. Some boxes are placed on the floor. But what the hell did he order? Good job, everyone. But what he says to the men who comment that. It was very heavy. It felt like I was going to break my spine. We're finally done. Let's have a drink to relax. Jin opens the door in a hurry and asks, has it arrived yet? 50 Jin, 80 Jin, and 110 Jin. They are all correct. But what questions? What did you buy this for? The warriors who carried them were with many difficulties. What else would I do with a sword? Obviously, I'm going to swing it. Saying that, he thinks. Let's start with the easiest one. 50 Jin. He removes the sword from the box, which immediately falls to the ground. Meisaku questions, are you going to swing that heavy thing? He keeps thinking, I imagine this could happen. But to think that I couldn't even lift 50 Jin. This body is rotten. But still, I can't just give up. Trembling, he lifts the sword. At least, I can lift it if I use both hands. Now stop staring at me and do as I ordered Meisak, and be sure to include plenty of meat. In my meals too. I can't help but worry. Thinks the boy watching John. John fastens the sword in his hand. Using a ribbon and lifting it, he thinks. I have 2 weeks before the duel. The constitution of my body is the celestial martial body, is the polar opposite of martial arts. Demonic that my master taught me. I guess I have no choice other than learning martial art of my master's friend, the incomparable 9 swords. So he swings the sword. That's my only way out. Amazing. The Amajim hit Bangero's henchman. Dabo asks. Yes, according to what they said in the letter. They couldn't move for 2 weeks. Dabo asks. But the energy core of Oamyajim. How could he have done that well? I don't think he's a nobody. So, maybe I should prepare gifts for our great clan heir. Call away. He starts thinking. I'm a little excited for the duel day. Let's see your hidden side. The Amajim. We see a drawing of a punching position. 1 foot fixed on the ground and a kick being executed. John Chan replicates the movements. He lands on the ground. So this is the celestial martial body. If it's a body granted by the heavens, there should at least be that to it. In another place, with several candles, Mujim thinks. Everything I asked Meisak for is already prepared. It starts now. He prepares his foot and starts some movements. 9 solitary swords. First form. Declaration form. I carry my sword and take a step forward. Any time. Not even. The Mani Tai dares to block my path. He keeps moving. Second form. Breaking the form. No matter what weapon comes to me, I destroy all. He feels a pang in his body. I'm already reaching my limit just for that much. But I have to endure. He kicks a ball that was in front of him. The ball bounces all over the room. Inclusive passing by your side. Suddenly, she comes towards his face. Third form. Sky clearing form. In one movement, he cuts the ball. Even if the enemy's energy shake the heavens, I will cut. Before this sword. After the movement, he stops. Suddenly he is hit in the back by another ball. My back. Next, he says, pulling a rope. Bamboos start falling towards him. He prepares his sword and uses another technique. Fourth form. Void sail form. No martial art can surpass this edge. With the movement of his sword, he hits the bamboos. All the complicated techniques, falling against natural strike. So the simplest sword can split them. All the bamboos hit around the rope. He complains, I can't hit a single blow. But a bamboo finally cuts the rope. Now from the ceiling we see logs falling. He prepares. Fifth form. Army slaughter form. In the logs we see lines. Even if one order of enemies comes to me, they will kneel before my sword. The logs are cut. An ant can never overcome an elephant. Ahead, the true strength. Numbers mean nothing. A last log falls on your head. That's bullshit. Next, sixth form. A bar part. Still water. Even a single leaf floating on the water will be split by this blade. Seventh form. Twin lands from one point. The sword opens the earth below. If she can cut the ground, then size doesn't matter anymore. Suddenly he wonders, why is he still okay? Eighth form. Sky ring shape. The sun, even the sky will be divided by this blade. Is there anything left in the world that I can't break? The sword falls to the ground. Ninth form. Self-offended. Finally, I cut myself and cut my sword. I no longer have a reason to wield a sword. He closes his eyes. So in the end, it's just mimicry, isn't it? Someone holds a sword. This is the last form. You memorized. I memorized. But an unworthy sword style like that deserves to be called art of the sword. Even the explanations are unbearably embarrassing. Cutting the earth, the sky, his sword, and even yourself. It looks like something a child made up. Trying to look cool. Your master says. I don't deny that. But the legacy of my close friend's sword. Should it even end like this? I couldn't continue. So I want you to take that over. He was the only swordsman who could match me. John Young. Child asks. What, but without internal energy? He probably used internal movement skill. He insisted strictly that she be passed on to someone who was not part of any sect, because those within the sect then cannot learn completely internal movement skill. That shit method, he says, before his master flicks him on the forehead. I said that's how it is. So shut up. Anyway, continuing the explanation. If you swing this sword style 1,000 times, your body will start to change. With 100,000 swings, you will start to emit a sword aura. With 1,000,000 swings, few will match you over the sky. That is what is said. So even if you practice 1,000 times a day, you will just end up mastering the sword technique. In 3 years, he was really as strong as you master. The master answers, I can't say that for sure. But if we fought to the end, one of us would surely die. Looking up, the boy says, now I'm curious what kind of man he was. Coming back, Masuk is hitting your face and calling your name. Wait, he answers. You are okay. You weren't getting up. So I was worried. Mogum says, hit me one more time and I'll kill you. Getting up. He thinks. But what? I fainted after just one sword form. Not even 1,000 blows a day yet. Still a long way to go. Masuki says, it's late. But let's eat. He points to the plate and asks, isn't that pork? But you asked me yesterday to prepare meat side dishes. It hasn't been that long since we ate meat. Let's enjoy. Starting tomorrow. Make steak. What steak? Yes. Steak builds muscles better. If money is a problem, use the loan union funds. Tell the butler not to worry. I'll get more loan later. Besides that, until I fight Xiaomi Dabo, I will eat 3 meat meals a day. By the way, young master, when did you start learning this martial art? Because it's strange. He questions. I mean, one man who couldn't even function as one normal person, suddenly mastering sword techniques. Of course it's strange. Masak explains. I'm just impressed. You didn't know any martial arts. But then, you used a hashi to crush the lone Union guards. And now, that crazy sword style. He swallows the food and says, well, I already told the kids. So I guess telling you doesn't matter. The truth is I'm not the eldest son. The Amijim. My true identity is the divine demon. But what he says, if you talk nonsense again, I'm leaving. I only worry about one thing. That you someday, as before, would lose your memory again and turn into someone else, and then disappear without saying a word. You're not thinking about abandoning the clan, are you? He lowers his hashi and replies, I would never abandon the clan, no. Until 1A becomes the strongest martial family in Sichuan. Besides that, I really have nothing else to do. The strongest family in Sichuan. That's right. The strongest in Sichuan. That's ridiculous. Masuk flicks him on the forehead. If you're done chattering, then get out of here. But what makes the place the strongest in Sichuan, right? That should be enough for you, right? Well, Mujim, tea is being served. In 10 days, will be the duel between Xiong Dabo and the young man, Master Yum Xiong Dabo. That guy will surely try to end the young master's life. And after that, he will come to take the inheritance of Emperor Ion. What if we ran away before that happened? What are you talking about? Think carefully. We cannot let the last two also be harmed. Jin is panting, while the rain falls outside. He trains with his sword. Just by swinging one sword every day, I built muscles in my arms. Now I have finally reached the point where I can handle an 110G iron sword, one with one hand. But because my sword technique is still unstable, there is only 1 week left for the duel. Suddenly he hears a voice. Brother Mujim, you are training so hard. With that, he looks and finds his brothers. What brings you here? Children. It's dangerous. So go play somewhere else. The boy says, I was worried. I've been watching you for a few days, and we think you're exaggerating. The girl questions, are you doing this because of what I said before? At that time I was annoyed. Well, he starts to think. Whenever I see these kids, I remember them. It's okay. No need to worry. By the way, Brother Mogum, your posture is really amazing. Is that how you do it right? The girl also comments. No, it's not that. The brother stretched his arm a little more. He's me. Imitating. This child is cute. Seeing these kids makes me remember of the time I trained with my master John when swinging the sword. Exhale as much as possible, then hold without haste. Finally, to return to the position, inhale slowly and briefly. He starts to think right. The most important thing in this technique is the pupil's breathing method. I forgot my master's words. Remembering that, he says, don't worry about anything. I will definitely win. So go to your rooms. Now, the children stand still in front of the closed door. They smile. Nothing will happen, right? The rain keeps falling without a break. While swinging the sword, breathe as much as possible. Hold without rushing. When returning to the position, inspire. Slowly and briefly. Fifth form. He pours all the internal energy gathered in his body at once. Success. After that, he inspires disciple. A King Kong. That builds internal energy, moving the body directly. His feet move again. Compared to other King Kong, who perform energy circulation through meditation, disciple is classified as an art, martial of lower class, where it is difficult to expect a development significant of the energy channels, was classified as a lower class martial art. His sword is pointed at something in the rain. When awakening such a disciple, what was most important was a breathing method. Stable. Thinking this, he makes the sword movement towards the concrete in front of him. Unlike before, when swinging a sword seemed difficult, the body gradually stabilizes through breathing. According to the sword technique, he again prepares a move. After repeating the sword technique training dozens of times, so Dante, who had been spread out for years, slowly began to condense. We see Masak preparing a lunchbox. The young master, he's still doing that? Asks the elder. Yes. He has become a completely different person now. In the beginning, he kept fainting, but he doesn't seem to show any more signs of it. The divine energy treatment that he received from the Mudong before seems to have been effective. The elder begins to think. Even if it is, the treatment of Yudang Baxian shouldn't improve in just one session, right? If there is any problem, tell me. Understood. But only that, says as he leaves the place. The elder seems annoyed. Masuk arrives at the residence. Young master, it's time to eat. He enters the place and notices the Amujim standing, holding his sword, with dust scattered around him. What is this? It's narrow, responds Mujim. It's too tight to continue training here. That's what I mean. I should use the training field from now on. In the training field, we see people with hostile looks staring at him. He returns the stare. We have guests. He says, warrior gentlemen. The young master says he will use the large training field. The men still don't say. Nothing. Mujim hits his sword on the ground. Did you hear right? Since I need to train alone, I will borrow the large training field for a while. There is another training field nearby, so use that one. What is this bastard talking about? Just swinging the sword won't make anyone a martial artist. The warriors think, while their eyes are quite challenging. One of the warriors says, even if you are the young master, you don't. He stops talking as soon as a hand appears in front of him. Brother, everyone back. Since the young master said he will train in martial arts. This is Xiao Boi, from the Death Squad, and commander of the Yun Clan Death Squad. While they leave, Xiao Boi comments, it seems that his madness has returned again. Mujim says, hey, why don't you stop? The man stares at him, annoyed. If you have any complaints, say it to my face. Keeping it to yourself is something only cowards do. What are you suggesting? Asks the man. Among the people who eat by the sword, if there are complaints, what can we do? Mujim's blade appears in front of the man's face. We'll have to fight. Young master, while no matter how much the world has changed, there is no warrior who wields the sword against the person who will become the clan chief. Mujindus, there is a saying, a dog barks, but it doesn't bite. And a dog that barks is full of fear. If you're not going to advance, don't bark from the beginning. Live like a dog, scared, with his tail between his legs. The angry man begins to draw his sword. Swinging it, he says, regret will be of no use. Well, I'm not the type to regret. The sword sheath falls, and the great sword is stuck in the ground. Mujim jumps and manages to dodge the first hit. After that, he puts his hand on the man's neck, and the others are surprised. A duel without his sword. What kind of movement is that? The opponent tries to hit him while he's up high, but Mujim still manages to dodge. His subordinate worries watching the scene. Young master, stop dodging my attacks and fight like a man. Right, he lands on the ground behind his sword. It's been 25 years since I've been in this clan, and the reason he's in this state is your fault. Mujim grabs his blade and now out of nowhere wants to learn martial arts. Angry, the man goes up. Know your place. We see the two about to clash. Mujim also leaves, on the attack with a flame in his eyes. 9 incomparable swords. Second form, weapon destruction. He performs the attack and opens his opponent's guard. What this? Collided with my internal energy. What he said is right. But Mujim punches the man in the face. We see being thrown up. It's going to be different from now on. While being knocked out, he thinks, I can't believe it. His eyes are different than before. As his eyes close, he watches Mogum and smiles. Are full of determination. Are the eyes of a martial artist. The man falls to the ground. The others watching are astonished. What are you thinking? The young master wants, sir. You're okay. The others run to help their master. Mujim supports his blade on the ground and says, there's nothing to say now. It was cowardly. What he questions the squad leader. Can't hurt you. And used it to his advantage. The leader yells, shut up, I. Lost. The sun rises over the place. The leader joins his hands in greeting. I learned a lot from you. Mujim answers. Great, now get out. Understood. Let's go to the other training room. The group begins to leave the place. You too, says Mujim to his subordinate. While the sunlight, lightly orange, illuminates the place, we see in another area an angry squad member. I know he's the young master, but this is not an exaggeration. Why did you take it easy? The squad leader asks. Who said I took it easy? I was planning to leave him almost dead. Are you serious? Question. The man seems to be kidding. I do not know what happened, but it seems that our young master improved dramatically. What one could he? Anyway, it is a good thing that he may be different, right? In another location, a duel against the Xianghua mercantile group. Elder Joe, do you know how long we've been in this clan? The elder replies, about 37 years. The other says, it's been a long time. The Emperor of Flames was spectacular. During his youth, appeared with nothing in his hands and showed martial arts. Even the arrogant Klantang had to admit they were good. We were both attracted by his brilliance, and we swore loyalty to him. Now we are trying to undo that loyalty. That's not what we're doing. We need to solve the bloodline problem. Elder Joe replies, I know, I'm aware. Even if you don't try to convince me. 17 years. That's the time that we take care of the young master's mental insanity. Not only that, but within those 17 years, we've been seeing the clan succumb along with the young master. Even if we find the Emperor of Flames in the afterlife, I don't think he would judge us. Anyway, is ready. Of course. We just need some money to relocate somewhere else. After that, martial artists and 4 permissions. He pauses for a moment and then says, you go first. Elder Joe begins to say, but the man interrupts. He's still from his lineage. Someone needs to help him recover. The martial master of the Kongdong sect, hired by the Xinghua mercantile group, will appear as a witness to the duel. Witness? What a robbery. The other one answers. It's how serious they are about this Xinghua mercantile group. Those evil bastards. They won't leave a trace of this place behind. Go to the promised place and wait for me. The children will be shocked by all this. We see the dawn. I feel like the meat is kind of tough. Is it just me? Your subordinate answers no. The cheapest parts of the cows are tougher. He questions, are we out of money? The other one says, I don't know. The superintendent gives us little money. What is angry? The subordinate again answers, I wouldn't stay for something so stupid. So why did you say something that will make me hit you? Mujim hits the table and asks, whatever. How is my clothes? I do not know. You looked better covered in bandages. Let's go right. Answers the subordinate with another rooster. Mujim picks up his sword. The superintendent asks him, where are you going? Mujim questions, didn't come here to say silly things. How to run away, right? Of course not. Answer the old man. I knew, then wait for me. I'm going to smash these bandits. I'm going with you. Listening to this, he stares at him. This old man cares too much. I'm going to kick my opponent's ass. Even so, we see a door opening and light passing through it. Mujim inspires and says, let's go. The duel between the Xianghua mercantile group and the Flame clan. Those who are going to bet hurry. How much is it paying? Let's see. At best, 1 to 4. The other says, sounds acceptable. If you are a martial artist, it is valid to bet on a martial clan instead of a mercantile. The man answers, I will bet 2 silver nyongs on the Flame clan. Suddenly, another person says, ah, it's the young master of the Flame clan. The dust moves away from his feet as he enters the venue. He walks while eating something. Can I cancel the bet? You see, I said we wouldn't be late. The old man says, even so, eating so much before a duel, or someone using an umbrella approaches. It's been a while. It's not because of consideration of your lineage. I'll ask again. Are you really going to participate in the duel? People hearing this question, what was the Flame clan? Who asked for the duel? Even without having the talent for it, they still did this idiocy. Judging by how severe your madness is, the humor seem real. Mogum thinks, they are acting like we asked for a duel. It seems that I will have to reciprocate them. He answers, we can't let the Xianghua mercantile group get the secret manual of the Flame clan. Do we have another option besides fighting this way? People comment on what they just heard. What are you saying they wanted? A secret martial art from a martial clan. A renowned group like Xianghua. I can't understand what's going on. The woman narrows her eyes, closes her fan, and says, I want to see how much you will keep this posture. A torch is lit. Everyone attention. The witness of today's duel is Han Igangda, Kondong sect. The man clenches his fist. Next successor of the Xianghua mercantile group, Zongdabo. and the young master of the Flame Clan. Wamujin, on behalf of the Kondong sect, let the fight begin. Dabo says. So you received the gift we sent. Mujim Questiona. O present. Sua Rupa do Agora Ao uniform do Cla das Chamas. Your current outfit is the uniform of the Flame Clan. EU Pessolment in Vie para commemorar a Volta do Grande. I personally sent it to celebrate the return of the Great One. Oa Majim the Majim. Pegando o cabo da sua espada, grabbing the hilt of his sword. Ele diz, he says. Enteo foi isso, so that was it. Quando o duelo acabar, when the duel is over. Terry I que fazer uma devoluco, I'll have to make a return. O publico observa espantado, the audience watches in amazement. Ele vai usar uma espada, he's going to use a sword. Da pra usar uma espada deste tamanho, can you use a sword of that size? O Imperator das Chamas neo era conhecido, and the Emperor of Flames was not known. Pois usava somente os punhos, as he only used his fists. O velho questiona, the old man questions. Mas o que o jovem mestre falou? But what did the young master say? Algo estranho, something strange. O subordinado desperdeu, the subordinate says pardon. Bem quando suggerir que ele fugisse, just when I suggested he run away. Fica tomado por raiva, he was taken over by anger. Sugeriu que ele fugisse, suggested he run away. Mas so que diz, but I'm the one who says. Estava brincando quando falei. Isso hey, I was kidding when I said that. Acredito, I believe. Sem dúvida nenhuma que nosso jovem mestre vai ganhar. There is no doubt that our young master will win. Por querer teria sido one opco melhor, but running would have been a better option. Neo vai ser diferente, it won't be different. Já que o jovem mestre muda bastante, since the young master has changed a lot. Mas é possível uma mudança tão drástica acontecer, but is it possible for such a drastic change to happen? O velho escutando, isso pergunta, the old man listening to this asks. Ele pegou a lecura do jovem mestre, he caught the young master's madness. Ambos os lados estão prontos, both sides are ready. O amujim assina, amujim nods. Se estiveram prontos, if you're ready. Comecem a duelar, start dueling. Assim que a luta é autorizada, as soon as the fight is authorized. O amujim imediatamente salta para cima de Dabo. Amujim immediately jumps on top of Dabo. Sua lamina viam dirico, ao rapaz's blade goes towards the boy. Que defendo ataque com sua espada, who defends the attack with his sword. The people are surprised. He is fast. Others in the audience comment. Didn't they say the young master was crazy? And that's why he didn't learn martial arts. Where did this strength come from? Dabo is clearly irritated. He pounces on Majim while saying, even so, the level of your skill is mediocre. The swords go towards each other and start to clash. Sparks fly from the clashes between the blades. We see both prepared, and an attack going towards Mogim's face. The impact happens on the arena floor, and both move in another direction. Again, the blades clash, and they face each other face to face. The audience goes crazy, watching a better fight than anyone could have expected. The swords continue to clash in the arena. From above, Dabo's sister observes. That's surprising. The representative of the Flame Clan is lasting longer than I expected. Even so, compared to the martial arts that Dabo has learned so far, his ability is insignificant. Another attack passes by the side of Dabo's head. Mujim changes the grip of his blade and tries to attack the opponent, but Dabo manages to deflect with a jump. Mujim notices the movement and dodges before the opponent falls on him. Mujim stops his movement using his sword. Dabo runs towards him. He faces his opponent. Meanwhile, Dabo thinks, "Well, Mujim, this time, I will cripple you. Break a man's will. It's what I do best." We see the clash of blades again. Mujim still manages to dodge the attacks. The old man comments, "I thought the young master would be defeated immediately, but he's holding up well." His subordinate says, "Even I don't know the details. He hasn't gone full strength yet." The old man questions, "What are you talking about?" Out of nowhere, the other says, "I spied on him training alone. Something huge, powerful. Maybe it will be revealed while fighting." Mujim thinks, "From the looks of it, my skill is on par with his. This little amount of time was enough." Well, it doesn't matter. In the past, it didn't matter how strong the enemy was. In the end, I killed them all. That damn Dobu. Just as Mujim prepares some blow. I will kill him. For sure. On the spot. With a hut falling to pieces. Head east for 5 kilometers. Turning to the side. While finding a thorn tree. Then 3 kilometers. Joe stops somewhere along with a carriage. Phew, somehow we arrived. Luckily the two of them fell asleep, making it easier to bring them. At another moment, we see his conversation with the elder. Won't really come with me. The old man says. He is still blood of that person. Someone must stand by his side. I will personally observe the young master's last adventure. Then we'll be going. See you at the promised location. I don't know if it's the right thing to do. Back to the fight. The swords continue to clash. The two continue fighting. Apparently with everything they have. Mujim thinks he's good for his age. But in the end, he still needs to mature. Thinking this, he executes one stronger attack. The two continue taking advantage of the entire duel arena. The public observes. Apprehensive. Why the hell? They are balanced, aren't they? The young master seems to be at an advantage. I heard that the second son of Claymore, Cantil, is an outer sect disciple. Kondong. But he doesn't seem to be a big deal. Dabo is clearly irritated. Suddenly, he lets out a scream. The elder and the subordinate seem worried. Upon noticing that a stronger blow will be used, young master UAR. Young master. Careful. The girl cheers up. 9 incomparable swords. First form. Preventive step. Dobu attacks him as expected. But Mujim seems to be able to defend himself. The audience is amazed. He managed to block. Dabo is frustrated again. Mujim pushes him back with his sword. Mujim smiles. While the other says, You madman. We see an attack being prepared again. The old man thinks. Young Master Xiaomi is gathering all his internal energy. This must be the final blow. Mujim comments. Too slow. You gather your internal energy too slowly. Dabo is startled to notice Mujim going for him. 9 incomparable swords. Second form. Weapon destruction. Mujim attacks and opens Dabo's guard. The opponent thinks. I can't do anything against his attacks. Mujim goes on top. While Dabo's sword begins to crack. We see another meeting of the blades. I'm going to lose to a coreless idiot. Until finally, the sword. It breaks in half. And Dabo's arm is cut off by Mujim's sword. But what? After the cut, Mujim raises his leg and hits a kick. In the middle of Dabo's chest. The opponent is thrown away and falls on the other side of the arena. His sword, as well as the severed arm, also fall to the ground. Dabo the old man and the subordinate are also scared. The young master. He won it. Jin takes the severed arm. He picks it up and says, I will take this arm as payment for all the years of suffering. What did you say? Well, because they are the Xianghua Merchant Guild. They must find a way to reattach his arm. Someone jumps. We see the man, responsible for assessing the duel, land next to Dabo. He puts his hand on the man's chest. His energy core is also destroyed. Did you really have to go that far? Mujim questions what he is talking about. There is a difference in skill. The fight was already over a long time ago. Mujim asks, seriously, if that's how we're going to talk, I have something to say too. Was it really necessary to use the 7-wound strike in the head of a child who didn't even know martial arts? This is just a fraction of all the suffering. From now on, they will have to pay the price for provoking the Flame Clan. Get ready. The girl falls to her knees. She clenches her fist over her lap, while crying and thinking, I love Jin. I will never forget this. The whole audience is speechless. But the surprise is followed by the celebration. And to think that he finished off the disciple from outside the Kongdong sect in just a few moves. And this sword art that we have never seen before. A new martial master was born. The elder and the subordinate run to meet the young master. Mujim says, let's go back. The old man reluctantly says yes, staring at Mogum walking, with the sword resting on his shoulder. He wonders, has the young master always been like this? Like Chief Butler? Yes, about that. Upon hearing this, he thinks that he found out about the plan to escape. But Mujim continues. The gold I gave you, have you spent it all? Of course not. Mujim comments. It seems that I'll have to go to the Banjiro sect again, because of financial problems. The meat is very tough these days. Oh, one more thing. About Elder Joe and the other warriors. I don't care if they chose to abandon the clan. But if they try to separate me from my younger brothers, they will have to bet to live in the middle of the mountains. We see the brothers with Elder Job. The girl says, "Today is the day of the brothers' duel. How can you do this?" The brother also says, "We can't forgive you this time." Wait, let me read the message. After reading, he says, "My God, we are screwed." In the letter we see the message. "Young Master, the A1 escape plan was discovered. Come back immediately. Since we're talking about money, I think it's time for the debt party." The head butler questions, "Debt party?" Majim says, "I'm talking about the assholes of the Bangho sect. It's time to end this. Don't you think? I'll take care of everything then. Chief Do, you can rest." The boss thinks. The martial arts duel proved that the young master changed completely. Even so, Majim continues, "You worry too much. Old man." The boss says, "Please, make sure you don't get involved with the social sect." Yes, I already understand, right? I'm leaving." "Is he really going to the Bangho sect?" asked the subordinate. "Yes, it's better not to delay troublesome business. Masak from now on. Make sure you stay behind the boss." "Understood." "Yes, sir." "Wait, boss. Interest business. Bangro sect. You came?" questions the man, who then thinks, "I didn't think I'd see him in this life." And to think that he crippled the second son of the mercantile group. Xiangwa. Majim says, "I came to pay my debts." "What a quiet place. Your business is going badly." "Not exactly. It's just that most of the gamblers in Xiang went to see the young master's duel. So they went to see me fight. You must have bet on my fight, right?" "Sorry. We didn't mean to disrespect you. I'm sure my side was paying more. You made a good amount with that." "It's not a question, Majim." "Yes, sir." The man answers and thinks. "Don't tell me." Majim says, "You must have made a lot of money thanks to me. They're not just going to be quiet about it." That's not what the man thinks. "Shit, he's thinking of extorting us again." Majim says, "Of course not. We will express our gratitude fairly." "Is that so?" The man asks. "Great, that's what I wanted to hear." While staring, he thinks. He's completely different than before. The air around him is cold, but firm. A martial master full of murderous intent. Majim questions, "Right. Where is your boss?" The man asks, "Why do you want to see him?" "I hate having to say it more than once. If you don't speak, I will." A man appears at the door. This is leader of the Bangho sect. "You are the boss." The man says, "I was told about you." Jin also speaks. "Are you going to be difficult just because of some words? And it's not like you have a pretty face. What's this bald head? And this brat behind you is your lackey." Human energy from the guy who says, "You talk a lot for a child. So you're the one eyeing my money." This person is the Black Crow of Death from the social sect. Majim, staring at him, thinks. He's from the social sect. Then he asks, "Who said you could speak when two adults are talking? Want to die?" The man laughs and goes on top. "Go ahead. Try to kill me, young master." Mujim spins something in his hand and says, "I know it's Sosal or not who gets in my way. I'll leave a hole in it." He says, throwing something. Your opponent protects his face with his hand. That gets a hole in his palm. Something falls in front of Mujim, and the man thinks, "I thought he was just a brat. But he is not someone normal." Then he comments, "You pierced my hand with hashi. Interesting. You jerk." Mujim responds, "I don't feel anything." Listening to that from a senile old man like you, the man again attacks. Just like Mujim. Don't think so. He tries to hit him, but Murchim dodges, and the man ends up just hitting the ground. "Where are you looking?" He turns around, again trying to hit Murchim, who dodges the blow. The young man smiles, and his angry opponent thinks, "Well, like such a young brat. Dodges my attack so easily. How about another hole?" Mujim says as he attacks, aiming at the man's eye. The people are astonished. Mujim, standing in front of the man, questions, "Did you happen to drop a coin?" Crouched. The man curses him. "You shit. You attacked us. Accept your salvation and go after you." "Oh really? Your family and subordinates will not be safe." Mujim, listening to this, kicks the man's still injured eye, with his foot in his face. He says, "Accept social. Tell them to come after me, if they dare. Meanwhile, you die here. And wait, I'll give you anything. My fortune and my concubines. Just spare my life." But Jim asks who out of nowhere wants to live like that? He lowers his foot. "I don't need your concubines, but I'm interested in your fortune." The boy says, "It's all in Dashong. I will bring you everything." The young man comments, "Great, beautiful attitude. But if you don't come back, you will start breathing through the holes in your face." "Okay, I'll be right back." Mujim turns to the other man. "Now we must continue seeing our debt. Please, spare me. I will also give you everything I have." "What nonsense are you talking? Everything that already belongs to me." The man questions, "What are you talking about?" "The profit he collected from the commoners. 7,000 nyong of gold. Add that to the price of all the lives he ruined by manipulating clans. Marshal, wouldn't be equal to all your assets." The man says, "Then I'll give you everything, including," before he finishes saying something, pierces his forehead. "Can't understand something clear. Why do you keep offering me something that already belongs to me?" The others are startled. Who is next in command after him? The man answers, "I, the vice leader of the Mujim sect." Questions, "You weren't expecting this, yes? Please spare me. I swear I will live honestly. If you give me another chance, right? You live." "So how much is the property of this deceased worth?" The vice leader answers, "His house, Pordel, in money, around 4,000 nyong of gold, and the spoils of the Bangho sect." The vice leader answers again, counting the establishments, by minus 10,000 nyong of gold. Etem 500 nyong of tribute gold from the social sect. Let's see. Leader of the Bangro sect had 4,000 nyong of gold. All the profits are mine now. The assets of the Bangho sect are 10,000 nyong of gold. The tribute from the social is 500 nyong of gold, and compensation for emotional damages, around 20,000 nyong of gold. Sounds fair. The vice leader says, "I will prepare the transfer documents and bring them immediately." Mujim responds, "Great, let's see all the documents and gold here." "Yes, sir. Now, we must start negotiating the price of your rescue." Said he would spare him, but never said about the rest of you. The men beg for their lives. After that, we see the head butler astonished. "What is all this?" He questions. "Is what I collected from the party. Each box has 400 nyong of gold." "Young master, I told you who is behind the Bangho sect." "It wasn't him." Responds, "The social sect." The head butler says, "So you know who are allies of the social sect?" "Shouldn't." Mujim questions. Desperate. Elder of the says, "Josagang, from the Crimson Sword sect, is sworn brother with the Black Crow of Death, Red Crow from the social sect." So, hearing this, Mujim asks, "The Black Crow of Death, are you talking about that guy who has kind of black fingers? Have you met him?" Mujim replies, "Yes. I put a hashi in his eye. What a boss of the SE type of opponent. It can be a lot for Elder Jolie to give, but it doesn't compare to me. If problems like this come looking for me, I simply kill them all. It's simple. Anyway, get me a pecanha for dinner, and make sure to feed my brothers when they arrive." I'm leaving. Watching him leave, he thinks, the Black Crow of Death is feared even by Sichuan, and he doesn't think anything of this guy. This duel incident is also the same young master, the one I knew. At dusk, in another location, we see a conversation, an ambush at the Flame Clan. "You must have been dissatisfied with the outcome of the duel, leader of the mercantile group." The girl asks, "You were only hired to do a job. Why do you talk so much?" "As I said, bring only one child alive. Kill the rest if you want. Remember that child cannot die." The person behind her laughs and comments, "Understood. We'll be back before sunrise." "I love you, Jin. You will see everything you have left fall before your eyes." The IAO clan had its own era of glory in numbers. Martial artists who fell in love with the remarkable man, called IAOG. They filled the training camps. Even the prestigious Sichuan Klantang highly praised his character and ability. In just one generation, the Myamoa clan established itself as a martial family that no one could ignore. Even renowned masters could not touch carelessly on the warriors of the Myamoa clan. It was a time when all the residents cheered enthusiastically whenever they walked through the streets of their shang. But after the death of Yomji, the meditation that the succession ceremony of the next clan chief proceeded. The new chief's incompetence was revealed to the world. The Yomei clan declined gradually, and even those who swore allegiance began to turn their backs. One by one, the image of Yongji, who once commanded the world, for those of the righteous factions, he was a magnanimous hero to his enemies. One impressive master. He was truly one hero of all time. Because it was that I saw the image of Yong overlap with the young master's back. The A is retreating. Suddenly he hears, "Chief Butler. Chief Butler. Not you all. Why are only you here? Where are the young master, the young lady?" Assassins sent by the Shanghua Merchant Guild ambushed us. The elder, Zhou, and the warriors are fighting somehow. But there are many assassins. The man thinks the young lord is, young lady, is in danger. Inform the young master. UI immediately. I'll go ahead. Yes, sir. In the middle of somewhere. We see the attack. Looks like only you guys are left, huh? I'm not going to kill you all. So think carefully. You can lose all the brats if you try. Anything stupid. New Jody's you damn. A wind approaches the place, and we see a fan disarming the boy. The fan passes through the whole place and returns to the hand of the chief butler. As soon as he arrives, he says, "Step aside." In silence, the assassins go on the attack. But the chief butler manages to defend himself from the first blows. To think that the only one they sent is an old and decrepit fossil. The head butler, despite the numerical disadvantage, manages to defend himself. But suddenly the other one notices. Careful. One of the assassins stops in front of him. While he is in a disadvantaged position, the assassin tries to attack him. But the head butler manages to dodge. After that he lands on the ground, and the men go up to him. Without having time to react properly, he raises his fan and blocks the attack that was about to hit him. We take care of this side. Leave one child alive and kill the rest. Time to die? The head butler is hit by a cut. This really is the end. We see another one hitting him again. The butler falls to the ground in front of the children. One of the assassins questions, "Now which of the two brats should I kill? And which one should I take with me?" The boy steps in front of his sister. "Brother, if that's what you want, then you should be the one to die." But suddenly, someone opens their mouth. "Stop," screams Majim, approaching the location. That guy is the crazy demon, the Amujim. He runs towards the group. It shouldn't matter if we kill a Majim too, right? If he gets in the way of the mission. Only Mario won. One of the assassins will meet him. You have the death wish. The Amojim. We see his serious look and the assassin's sword being broken by a blow. After that, the Amojim's huge sword descends towards the man in front of him. We see a cut appearing in the middle of his body, and the Amojim passing by him, while his body opens in two parts. What is this? Everyone attack him. The Amojim continues to advance. The men jump towards him, and he uses one technique. 9 solitary swords. 5th form. All the men who were trying to attack him end up being hit. His eyes widen. Another one tries to hit him, but Mujim manages to dodge. After dodging, he faces the man and with an easy cut, tears off his head. This monster. The Mujim throws his sword and rips off the man's arm. He screams and Mujim stops. Don't even squirm. Not if you want to live. He looks back and meets the 2 men and their brothers. His sister, who had her eyes covered. Open them, brother. But her brother blocks her eyes again. Do not look. Because brother is here, right? You didn't get rid of all the bandits. His brother answers yes. That's why I'm telling you not to look. Are you okay? I'm fine. Must have been scared. The boy answers. I wasn't afraid at all. Because I am the son of a martial family. Mujim touches the boy's head. You did well. Elder Joe, take the wounded warriors and my brothers and come back, right? We're all going to run to the infirmary. Mujim turns to the last standing assassin. So how long are you going to complain? Because of a single arm. You were sent by that wretch from the Xiaohua merchant family. Was not. The man remains silent, and he says, answer me correctly, and I may let you live. Are you really going to let me live? Mujim answers. Don't make me repeat myself. I could simply erase all of you, starting with you. So he says, you're right. The head of the Xiongwa Merchant Guild, Butcho and on. That woman hired us through Sarambang. Are you really going to spare me? Amujim bends down to pick up his sword and says, if you don't want to die, run back and tell that wretch, like the Amujim of the Yanua clan, killed her staff, and tell her how he will kill them from now on. Hey look, that's not blood. Who is that person? Who else would it be? It's the lunatic of the Flame clan. Is his madness over? Doesn't it look even worse? Those who saw him walking down the road, soaked in blood from head to toe, could not laugh or despise. Wait, they say he defeated the Bangho sect alone. Those cruel bastards, yes. Apparently, he even left the second son of that merchant, Zangwa, half paralyzed. People used to call Amujim crazy young master. How strange. When he was a child, they say even Shaolin came after him, calling him a prodigy, blessed by the heavens. Did that talent come back? And now, they call him the hidden dragon of Shichang. Amujim opens the door of his house. Someone comes running towards him. Young master. Thank God. You're walking alone. Are you hurt somewhere? He holds the boy and says, I'm fine. More importantly, they are all in the medicine hall. Yes, none escaped without injuries. The second young master, Miss Soyen, are resting in their quarters to regain strength. Very well. Prepare a bath for me. Immediately. He answers. Yes, sir. Please. Wait a moment. At nightfall, we see him inside the bathtub, there with his eyes closed. He thinks. In his mind, the image of his brothers comes, resting to recover their strength. However common it may seem, it is something unthinkable for the sons of a martial clan. Still, I don't want those two to see the cruelty of the world so early. If I could, I would prefer them to live seeing only good things. Those children, am I seeing another person in them? When joining water in his hand and looking at the reflection, he sees the children from his past life. He stares at the water and releases it back into the tub, then faces the moon. The next day, in the medicine hall, the manual of the art of the flame. Read. You said yes. Replies the Amujim. That's same. Why are you so surprised? Ask for something I shouldn't. Can I know why you're asking for this? The Amujim stares at him. What are you worried about me having another outbreak and destroying all over again? The elder answers no. That's not it. You can't teach the secret techniques of my clan. Now then, from tomorrow, I myself will train the two of you. Seeing your face, I see you clearly doubt me. Elder Joe answers. Not at all. Do not worry. Elder Joe, nothing will happen. Here it is. We see him handing over the optimal manual. I'm going now. Rest well. Joe says please. Take care of yourself as soon as he leaves. The two start talking. Is this really going to work? The head butler answers. Don't worry so much. You saw the sword technique. Impressive from the young master. Didn't you see? Thanks to that, we managed to be treated quickly and recover quickly. His crises have stopped recently, and he is clearly improving. Sincerely, it seems he is almost cured. So you mean the Taoist treatment is finally working? This treatment also strengthens martial arts. I've never heard of such a thing. Although now that you mentioned his best repentina, it really cannot be explained in another way, unless he has gone through some encounter. Decisive, and not just any encounter. It must have been with a powerful martial master. There is no other explanation that fits. The shadow of 17 years that hovered over the Flame clan seems to finally be dissipating. We see on the training ground, the butterfly dance is the humming of the Mujim bee. What does that mean? I do not understand. He answers. Your sister. Let me put it another way. It means facing your opponent, as if freezing his feet in place, while your own movements remain free. Like the gill, a butterfly. It is a fundamental movement technique that I created myself, based on countless real combat experiences. But that's strange. The elder Joe said that you barely had any real combat experience. As soon as she says that, your brother whispers, Hey, you idiot. Don't say that out loud. Mujim continues. Anyway, enough theory. Let's move on to real combat. You two attack me. with the basic fist technique you have learned. The two prepare. Here I go. They set off to attack, and Mujim watches attentively. The boy attacks with a kick and the girl with a punch. Mujim, watching, thinks, but what? What are they doing now? What pathetic movements are these? Are they even from a martial clan? Maybe they're just too young. Still, this is absurd. They don't know how to balance the weight, nor rotate from the lower body. They can't. Not even perform the basics of body control. Angry, he yells, enough. The brothers stop. My head started to hurt. Let's stop for today? His sister asks. You're okay. Weird. We didn't even hit your head. He lies. Your skills are far above what I expected. For now, you need to strengthen your bodies before learning any advanced techniques. Go rest. See you two at dinner. He watches the brothers walk away. He sighs and says, this won't be easy, master. You must have had many problems too. I'm sorry for my fault. The lineage of the clan was broken, but I will restore our clan to its former glory, and I will revive the legacy of the clan, and I'm going to find that bastard, the one who carried the damn invisible sword that I couldn't defeat in my past life. He picks up his sword again. I'm going to kill him, no matter what. With determination in his gaze, he starts practicing. Now I can even lift this with one hand. I can feel the energy in the air. He performs the movements. With each repetition of the sword forms, my speed increases. Mujim jumps in the air. A few days later, I returned. Good job. Good job. Is that all you have to say? Do you have any idea what we went through? Protecting the second young master. The miss. So who told you to do that shit in the first place? If it wasn't for me, you'd all be in the coffin. Now if you do something like that again, I'll make sure you get in a coffin first. Got it. My apologies. He's definitely getting better. Didn't I say that only I could treat the young master? Just a few more sessions, and he'll be completely cured. Who says that is Du Yanso? Who is that person? Who are you? We don't have food for beggars. Get out, hey. Be careful with your words. This is the man who treated you. My sincere apologies. Mr. Taoist, the young master is not completely recovered yet. Get out of here. No, that was extremely rude of me. I didn't recognize you. You must be hungry after a long journey. Please, come in first. Mr. Taoist, a few days ago, that Taoist inherited the Taoist lineage of the Yudang sect. Positive healing energy, yes. That man famous for his miraculous martial arts was who treated you. I don't know all the details, but the chief, butler, paid a very generous amount to bring him here. So it's that man. Please come in. Very well. Mujim closed the gate. He waits for the men to walk. I heard that you inherited the Taoist lineage of the sect, Wudong. That's right. It's kind of strange for me to say this, but I'm the only one, Taoist, to inherit the essence of the true sect lineage. Wudong. I am the white immortal of Wudong. Mujim approaches him. So you say you are the white immortal of Wudong. How strange. I've never heard of any successor of the Taoist lineage of Wudong who has survived. The Taoist tries to say that. It's absurd. I really. But Mujim interrupts him. Listen, old man. Tell me the truth. While you still can. You won't be able to go back later. What are you saying? Are you doubting me? I am precisely the one who took care. Mujim interrupts him again. We'll keep talking. I'll try to believe you. He raises his sword and says, if you are really one Tahista from Situndang, dodging this sword must be easy, right? Mujim drops the sword in front of the man, who falls to the ground scared and asks, what are you doing? Stop him. His servant starts talking. Young master, please, why are you doing this? This man really is. Shut up. I'll show you something funny. Forgiveness. Mujim throws water. Toista is fallen and soaked. What madness is this? The Flame Clan returned the favor, humiliating your savior. Mujim holds the hair on his face, pulls, and we see it coming out in his hand. The others watch curiously. A fake beard. You still put this on carefully. You disgusting liar. Inside the place we see Mujim talking. You have courage. Trying to fool me. I really fell for that. Young master, what are you going to do with him? Mujim replies. I can't just let him go. Maybe. cut off his limbs, and turn him into a eunuch. Solve. The man cries for his life. Spare my life. Have mercy. Please. Don't kill me. I won't kill you. If you die, how am I going to get my money back? I'm just going to cut some. I beg you. Spare my arms and legs. I'll return all the money I took. That's obvious. But I'm also going to charge you for your useless member and masculinity. The man says, anything less than that. I'll pay any amount you want. Chief Butler, how much did he steal from you? The butler replies, 50 golden yongs. 50. You were deceived like that. It's too naive. What have you been doing all these years? I heard he was a great healer. Mujim gets annoyed and says, that's enough. I've heard enough. I don't want to hear any more of that. Did you hear? Start with 50 golden yongs. He answers, the money is not here now. If we go to my residence in Jinyang. Mujin says, for hours away, huh? Show me the way. Young master. Should we accompany him? Don't even come. What would you do with those weak bodies of yours? You want me to clean up your corpses too? Stay here and don't cause any trouble. Come on. You scoundrel. Show me the way. The chief butler says, just leave it to him. Young master. He's not the man he used to be. Mujim accompanies the man. We see him following him through the streets. Damn, I should have gotten a horse. No beast in this crappy place. This is the carriage I came in. Please. Enter what? You must have deceived many people. It's an excellent 4-horse carriage. Impressive. Mujim goes up, opens the door, and is impressed, until inside is decorated. The man answers, it is lined with cotton and finished with leather. I travel the country for work. So comfort is a necessity. You really have a strong work ethic for a con man. If you're so professional, why don't you find an honest job? The man answers, I'll be sure to do that from now on. I'm going to sleep. Wake me up when we get there. The other says, understood. Rest well, sir. Mujim closes his eyes. The man thinks, just wait, you bastard. He says to the man. The carriage starts to travel. The sky is completely covered by heavy clouds. The carriage continues its journey until stopping at a location. The con man gets off and says, you have arrived. He's sleeping inside the carriage. Drag him out and make an example of him. The man thinks again. Why would someone try to disrupt the business of a Taoist who is trying to help the people? This is the price you will pay for your stupid interference. Don't hate us. But when trying to attack him, the man is startled. What the hell? Mujim defends himself with his sword. Are we there yet? He questions. After asking this, he makes a move and tries to attack the man who defends himself using his bracelets. The big guy is pushed out of the carriage. The scammer gets scared. The hidden dragon of Xiang. So you really weren't just talk. Since when is Xiang in such an isolated forest? I was your target from the beginning. I thought you were just a scammer. But it seems you know how to plot too. I was already getting bored anyway. Let's see what you've got.